Yo-ho! It's Bader. I want to show you some cards that you don't see every day, and I want to talk about two players that nobody really talks about. But I'll give you a little question here. How many players can you name with 4 home run titles or more to their name? How many think you could do? 4, 5, 6? I know I'd be hard-pressed to figure out how many of these guys have done this. Well, I got in my hands here 2 pre-war players who've done just that. One of them has won 4 home run titles, and the other is 6. Now, if you know this already, just start typing it in. Send a message before I even get there. Give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, the first one is Harry Davis. So here you go. Harry Davis managed to lead the league in home runs 4 times. Back when the ball was soft and squishy, and if you didn't hit a home run in the first couple innings, there's no way you're going to be able to hit one out of the park. So most of these times, like players back then were hitting home runs, they had to leg them out. They had to run those suckers out. Like, for example, like Ty Cobb, more than half of his home runs never left the stadium. He had to leg those suckers out. Here's the other player, and a player I really like, and I've got a handful of his cards. So that is the great Gabby Hart, Clifford Gaby. Here it is. Here's a T206, and this is a minor league card. Here he is with Minnesota. And before this, he was in the Pacific Coast League because he was a California boy. And what's crazy about Gabby is Gabby led the league in home runs an incredible 6 times. He also hit 24 in 1915, which was a record that stood until some guy named Babe Ruth crushed it. Here's another card of Gabby. Now, Gabby, the other thing that's really fascinating about him is he really wasn't a major leaguer with any regularity until he was 31 years old. And when he was 31 years old, it wasn't a complete season, but he took 3rd in home runs. And after that, in the next 7 years, he won 6 home run titles, took 3rd twice. And he only had 500 at-bats 3 times. That's incredible. So he was hitting home runs at an incredible rate. Here's a Sporting News. The other thing about Gabby was known for being very slow. They would say he was incredibly slow. And so he was hitting home runs out of the stadiums. He was not legging in, home runs that stayed in the park. That was something also very unique about him. Here's another This is another Gabby Hart. But what you might notice on this is it doesn't say Gabby, it says Cactus. That was his other nickname. He got the name Cactus because they said his personality was so prickly, he was so abrasive that it was just like being around a cactus. So it sounds like he was kind of a jerk. Maybe that's not accurate. I don't know. I don't know how you could call somebody a cactus without not, thinking that that's not true. I play with a guy on softball. Maybe you'll see this. People think he's a jerk. They think he's an ass. They just don't know him. You hear him chirp and say stuff, but man, the guy's just honest and straight up. All right, here's another. And it says Gabby. I think that card and this card right here, I think both of them were just mistakes by the manufacturer. I think it was Gabby, and they actually said Gabby. But Kravitz, boy, he wasn't just a home run hitter. He led the league in WAR twice, led the league in runs once, RBIs twice, bases on balls once, slugging percentage twice, OPS 3 times, WAR twice. So you put all that together, he was a very, very good player. And he did it all from the age of 31 to about 38 years old. So very, very impressive. Later on in his career, after he got out of baseball, he became a judge, a very well-respected judge. So I think he's a really interesting player. You could probably dive in and learn all about him. But if you want to get a cost-effective card and have a conversation piece, this is a good guy to get. Very cost-effective, very relevant. If he had gotten into the Hall of Fame, I think there's an argument for it because of how good he was at the time. And if you get old magazines, you start looking into the news at that time, he was a big deal. All right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Bader's out.